Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and I'm here with Jim from Ride Snowboards and Steph. Jim, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
So good, Stefan.
Hey, what's up?
Another day, another dollar. These guys are in town for a super clinic for Ride, and we thought let's bring them into the studio and talk about some stuff. Steph is the boot engineer for Ride. Jim is the brand manager and man of many hats. I've always been a fan of Ride boots. Last year I rode the Fuse almost non-stop. We got a couple boots in our line right here. We have the Orion, we have the Rook, and then we have the Insano Boa. What can you kind of tell us about the boot line as a whole? You guys do some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, getting right into it, I think right here, this is, a very small amount of what we offer, but kind of have the lower end here, and then you get up to the Insano, which is pretty much Insano. I don't know.
Insano level stuff.
Yeah, but the line in general, throughout it, I mean, it gives you options for whatever type of style riding you're doing. If you like a softer flexing boot, if you like something that's a little more aggressive.
But we got options in lacing too. Ride was one of the first companies to partner with BOA, so we have a long history with BOA, and we firmly believe that BOA is a really, I don't want to say superior. I think it's superior. I can say that. Maybe Ride doesn't feel that way. I love BOA boots.
Yeah.
But we've got a couple really good lace boots that the team and a lot of the in-house guys with the Fuse and the Fuse and the other name Triad. The Fuse and the Triad that if you still like that lace feel, you can get that. We've got a couple different even BOA lacing options throughout the line. So there's a boot in the Ride line for pretty much everybody.
That's right. And the convenience of BOA is great. It really is like getting them on and specifically taking them off. No matter how comfortable a boot is, at the end of the day, if you've been riding for 8 hours, like taking your boots off is awesome. Yeah. It feels so good. Oh, yeah. And getting them off as quickly as you can with BOA is pretty nice too. Now, is it correct within the entire line you have all heat moldable Intuition liners as well?
Yeah, that is true. And that's we have the premium Intuition. We've worked with them, I think, from start. Yeah. And that's been something we've always kind of held throughout the line, even in the lower end boots, all the way up through the higher end, just different constructions. But it offers a lot, and I do a lot of that's a big story for us, and that's kind of the premium foams. You don't have a lot of fillers and a lot of other stuff in the foam, so you're getting able to even heat mold these things, and for whatever reason. But the heat moldability is a great feature. People should totally take advantage of it, because who doesn't like a comfortable boot right day one? I mean, there's break-ins, but you can not do it. Yeah. But it's very nice.
That's a huge advantage for me, is that heat moldable. I used to make fun of it. Oh, you don't need to heat mold it, and then I honestly, it makes such a big difference. And people will say you can break it in. I don't believe you ever get to that maximum comfort level that you can get from actually heat molding the boot, and doing it. But it'll break in just like anything else if you don't want to heat mold it. But I think it's a good advantage. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing with our boots. You start with that. That's the idea with Ride boots, is that we make the basic boots. It's a basic idea. We're not trying to trick you with some fancy weird lacing system that you got to wrap around 3 different times, or some weird branded foam that we made. We went out and we spent the time, researched the best materials manufacturers. We work with them from Intuition to BOA to Michelin on our soles, so that we can bring the best quality boot with the features. And then internally in the office, Steph will design 2 or 3 different. When we go through, how many of the new boot that we test this summer?
There's quite a few revisions.
A bunch of different revisions.
Dial it in. Yeah. It's like with everything when you're designing. You have an idea and you kind of build on it, and then you're running it through like the team and everybody in the office, and getting product testing days on it is like the biggest benefit of all, because then you have a perfect direction of where to go with the product.
That's right. Yeah. I think it was you that sent me, or someone from Ride sent me a pair of Fuses, and at the end of the season they were like, "You got to make sure to send them back." Nope.
Well, I
Not
feel
gonna
like I
send
say
them
that to
back.
all the test riders.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
But nobody ever, I never requested anything. So
I'll
it's
send
one
them
of those
back.
things.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So let's walk through this, through the 3 boots that we have here. These are a couple of the highlights. Again, Ride does have a lot more boots. You can check them out at thehouse.com and ridesnowboards.com. We have the Orion, we have the Rook, and we have the Insano. Now, the Rook and the Orion are basically the same boot, but just different lacing options. Why did you guys choose to do that?
I think basically it's an entry-level boot, and so you get a BOA for, I think it's a little more
Sub
pricey.
200, yeah. They're
And
both
then-
sub 200.
So just to hit the category and hit the price point, there's a lace option for people who want laces too. Because, coming into it, I didn't ride too many BOA boots before, but it wasn't even because I didn't want to ride them. It was more of just laces. It's what you know. But now everything I ride is BOA, and it's so much easier to just get in and out, like you said earlier. So
Yeah, and we use lace in a couple different places, and this one is definitely a price-driven thing. I mean, BOA is a little more expensive to use, so we want to make a boot that's affordable. That's the ultimate in affordability, and that's kind of where the Orion comes in. It's always been that boot. If you look at it feature-wise, nobody else is going to sell you a boot at that price with an intuition liner. You're just not going to get it.
Yep.
Durability, you got the full rubber sole. This thing is bomber at that price. And if if you want a little upgrade, you want to spend, I think it's a $20 price difference. That's where you step up into the Rook, and you get the BOA system.
That's right. Yep. And it is a bomb-proof boot. So if you're the kind of person that only rides a couple times a season, you need a boot that can last multiple seasons. Like even at an entry price point, those are both great boots that can span, half a decade.
Yep. And if your preference is a softer flexing boot, that's really where you get into it. If you want a stiffer, more aggressive flexing boot, that's where a lot of the price comes in. But if you like a soft flexing boot, I mean, there's guys that'll ride that for everything, and they'll ride it for years, and you're just sitting there like, really? You don't want a different one? And they're like, no, I like it. It's simple, So those are pretty good, and we sell a lot of those boots.
Right, tons. And then moving kind of up a lot.
Yeah, skipping from the top to the bottom to the top.
That's right. Now we hear.
Yeah.
Hey.
Rap song.
This is the Insano, and it's insane. A lot of great collabs: Intuition, BOA, Michelin tires or Michelin rubber. Awesome liner. This thing's dope, breathable. Steph, what's going on with that thing?
So the Insano here, so you're getting basically a different layup of foam, the Dreamliner. And it's a lot more, supportive, I guess you'd say. So you're getting a lot more performance out of this boot for sure. And that's coming straight from the liner and then moving up into the shell. Like you said, there's Michelin, and then there's also the slime tongue, which is a big,
so
big
much
deal
fun.
there. And that kind of gives you a lot more rebound as you're flexing into the boot. So it kicks you out a little bit, and it just gives you that extra support and stiffens it up a bit. And this thing, I mean, from Jim, this is a gym boot right here.
Big man.
Yeah, you can ride that thing. This thing will last. The tongue really never breaks down. You don't have any issues with that. And you got the heat moldability and just very simple, basic, awesome fit out of the box for sure. But definitely heat mold these things because.
I think the stiffer it gets, probably the more important it is to get it heat molded. I mean, this thing, exactly. We always joke with it. I think our flex rating has it at, I think we put it at 10. I wanted to put it at 11, but there were some graphic design constraints that we didn't have an 11. I was like, turn it to 11. Because this thing it's stiff. I mean, this is on the verge of ski boot stiff.
Sure.
So it's funny. Like in the past, they've been like, don't say that it's so stiff, and I'm like, no. It's not for everybody, but the guy who wants a stiff binding, he's out there watching this video and he's going, oh, a stiff boot. He's like, oh my God, finally a boot that is performance, that level of stiffness. And this thing, it's the beauty of it. My life, I've always liked a stiff boot. I've always had a stiff boot from when I started, probably just because I'm a bigger guy and I like that precise feel. But they're always uncomfortable. That's the catch with the stiff boot. That's why people don't like them, is because there's so much stuff in there, and it hurts you when you're trying to ride it. This thing, people put it on. I've given it to people who are like, "Oh, it's too stiff. I don't want to." And as soon as you put it on, you're like, "Wait a second, So, this feels good, and I can get that performance. I can get that feel out of it. So I think there's a bunch of cool stuff on there. And then while we're here, we should talk about a couple of the other features. The one we always like to talk about on the ride boots is the closer system. So Steph can kind of talk about that. That is on all of the ride boots except the Rook, and it's a price issue that we can't get it on that bottom price.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of been around for a while now. It's been a ride-specific technology, and really you're just getting over the foot. You're getting a lot more distribution of pressure, so you're not having pressure points build up, and you're getting better tightening over the foot because it's like a pulley system almost. It's going back to itself. So it's a simple design, ride technology, and it gives us a awesome look on the boot, and it's. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's kind of the start of that was the first of our kind of proprietary lacing ideas, and that's the advantage of us having engineers building our boots. Boots, a lot of times, are designers, and this is a technical footwear. This isn't a tennis shoe. This is something that requires some rigidity, and Steph and Troy can sit over in the boot section and do all sorts of different lacing. So the start was the closer system, and that's how the laces back, pulls everything in. Like Steph was saying, we got on a couple other models, we got tongue-tied focus.
This is tongue-tied, doesn't it?
No, this one is a true zonal boa. So this boa on the side will do the bottom, and the top will do the top. We're actually. There's some prototypes floating around. I'm tongue-tied, tongue-tied, like going. So we really like that tongue-tied system that we've got in there. So we're trying to figure it out. But that's the beauty of it too, is like we have the ability in-house to go through and test it, and we don't just put it out and say, oh, that didn't work, we better fix it. It's like, no, this thing's been tested 100 times. We know it's good, so this is the one. And then we start on the next path, and whether it's a slime tongue or whatever update we're going to do, we really approach the boots with an engineering focus, which is it's different than a lot of people out there.
That's right. Oh, guys, well, thank you so much for being here. Jim, pleasure.
Yeah.
Steph, awesome. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment or a question if you have any. And thanks for watching. And remember to subscribe to the channel and check out all of the ride equipment at thehouse.com.